gonna trouble the water. In the water. In the water, children. God's gonna trouble the water. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. No mother, no father, and the only child I had just drowned. It's a paradise transformed into a daily war. 202 years of freedom. Free to rob, terrorize, kill, defamiliarize, defamily each other, ourselves. Our only hope of escape. Escape dying in the struggle for life. It's the only successful slave revolt that has never ended. The revolution continues in Haiti. Haiti, oui. Haiti, chérie. Haiti. Rosalie, oh, Rosalie, oh.
And welcome to FabFit TV. I am Kim Barnes-Jefferson, your host, and I want to welcome you all. I'm so grateful here that you guys are able to join me on another episode of FabFit TV. I am a personal trainer and lifestyle coach, and I am here with my good friend Naomi Rothstein, and we're going to get to her. She's an amazing clean eating expert, and so
stop.
Oh yes, you are. So. My show airs every second and fourth Tuesday of the month, and so I'm grateful that you guys are here. You know, here we are, we're second week in January. Everyone's got a lot of New Year's resolutions on the table. Oh, yeah. And one of the first resolutions that everyone seems to make, I'm going to ballpark it, a zillion people come up with the idea that I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to get fit, I'm going to have a bikini body, anything else you can think of that people come up with for...
I mean, all of those things, as Kim mentioned. I'm a personal trainer myself, so I hear everything. I'm going to do a cleanse this week, and I'm going to get into this workout and that workout, and as you said, ballparking it, and with no real direction or plan, and it's tough, and we go through this every year.
Every year we go through it, and so one of the things I wanted to kick off is that I know the biggest challenge is, my favorite expression is, you can't outrun a bad diet. That's like my biggest phrase, and so many people I know, and I see it, and you work in a commercial gym too, you see it, everyone's on the treadmill. You know, that's the first thing someone does, like, oh, I'm gonna lose weight, so I'm gonna run. Okay, all right, awesome, great, if you like it. So I wanted to invite Naomi because she runs a website called One Fit Foodie, and I find that the biggest change anyone will see in their physique, energy, life is when you change your food. And I love Naomi because she makes clean eating easy and accessible, because I'm not Rachel Ray or Martha Stewart.
Neither am I.
I am not going to raise a chicken out back and go out and grab some eggs.
That's an Ina Garden.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm none of those people on the Food Network. So I don't, my idea of gathering is at Shaw's. That's where I do my gathering.
100%.
I will gather at Whole Foods and I will gather at Traders, but if it's not there, I'm not.
A supermarket setting is where we gather.
Yes,
100%.
yes. I'm not going to find anything live. No, I don't forage. maybe for a bargain back in the day when Filene's Basement was around. I would.
It's about it. No longer. Yep.
Yeah. So Naomi, gosh,
Yes.
we're friends. I was your coach. We worked together. So give the audience a
Long
little
history.
background about you and One Fit Foodie.
Well, first of all, thank you, Kim, for having me as a special guest on your show. I'm so excited to be here. I love talking to people about healthy living, nutrition, wellness, fitness. It's what I do. I've had a passion from an early age. So I am a personal trainer full-time at Equinox, downtown Boston, and I've been personal training for about 6 years. And I'm also a lifestyle coach alongside Kim, training women for physique competitions. My past history with that is I've competed in 5 shows myself. So I started in 2011, and I've transformed into a coach. I've kind of put competing aside, but I still, coach actively, and I love motivating and helping others with healthy eating and nutrition. So I started my website, One Fit Foodie, back in 2009. Not really knowing what it would do. I was an avid reader of blogs myself, and I loved hearing what people ate and how they worked out, and all these different recipes. So I was kind of, interested in starting my own and seeing what would happen. It kind of took off, and I got thousands of readers, followers. They wanted to hear what I was doing, how I was making it easy for myself. And so I just started sharing recipes, and the blog kind of transformed into my business and my website. And then when I started working alongside, Kim and the rest of the Kathy Savage Fitness staff, it blew up before my eyes. So it took a mind of its own. And my favorite thing to do is cook. I love cooking. And as you said, Kim, you can't out-train a bad diet. So, you can work out 5 hours a day, but if you don't know what you're eating, nothing's going to change. So you can go run on a treadmill, but if you don't have the proper nutrition and the proper tools, you won't go anywhere. So that's why I'm here. I'm so excited to share some recipes.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And so one of the things everyone always says to me is, oh, Kim, clean eating, it's so expensive, or I don't have time. And, you and I both have, more than 40-hour-a-week jobs, and we work at odd hours, and we're up at the crack of dawn, and we're home late at night.
Yep.
So, one of the things I like about your recipes is that they're simple. And I like variety. I know some people I can eat the same thing over and over again, but I like, right. Because I would always be like, variety is the spice of life.
Kim coached me for about 4 years, and every email back, variety. That's it. And yep.
So one of the things I like that you've come with variety is that you made these awesome meatballs.
Yep.
Can you see here?
Yep. These are turkey meatballs, and the recipe. These recipes are available. Right. They will be available.
They're available on my website. If you go to fabfitsquad.com/live-tv, you will get the recipes.
And you will want these recipes. Trust me. So.
The meatballs.
So I am a big fan of taking meat and making it interesting, because if I had to eat plain piece of chicken breast every meal 6 times a day, wouldn't happen. I would shoot myself. I mean, I don't know. I've never done that. I think I tried maybe once, but it just doesn't happen. So I love cooking. I grew up in a household where we cooked all the time. I learned from my mom from an early age. My brother loves to cook. So, I started taking spices and saying, okay, I have this ground turkey. What am I going to do with it? So, and still keep it healthy, because I wasn't going to start frying it and, adding in all this other stuff to take away from, the lean ground turkey that I had here. So these are rosemary turkey meatballs, and I made these on Sunday. They took me maybe 5 minutes to throw together, and as Kim said, I had everything in my pantry already. I didn't have to go to Whole Foods and the farmer's market. I had some lean ground turkey. It's not even the leanest, it's 93.7, because I like to keep some fat in my meat for the good fat. I don't really care, chicken breast, chicken thighs. To me, meat is meat, and the fat is all good in there. It's rosemary, some panko breadcrumbs. You can also use almond flour. You could use some whole wheat breadcrumbs, but I chose to use panko, rosemary, some Dijon mustard, I think 1 whole egg. If you want to take out the fat, you can do 2 egg whites. The possibilities are endless with the meatballs.
That's the thing I love about meatballs is because I'll buy lean turkey or even ground beef every week, and it's just a matter of what I put inside of it. So one of my favorite things, and I don't know if I got it from you.
She probably did. What?
One of my favorite things is to add spinach and pine nuts to the meatball. So now I have like a little bit more of and I'll add some type of, I like spicy, so I'll also add some crushed red pepper flakes.
Yeah.
And that makes it a great turkey meatball. So and I have a picky husband, and so he eats those. So
you have to kind of, like, what I think about this is, okay, you have to think, what are the flavors that you like? So for me, I don't like spicy food. It doesn't agree with me too well. I take out the crushed red pepper. And if I'm reading a recipe that calls for it, I just sub something else. So, and Kim said adding some spinach, or like I would do walnuts or roasted red. Sometimes I've cut up roasted red pepper and put that in there, and adds a whole new element. So you can have turkey meatballs every week, but they taste so different.
Right, when you add in different elements. I know, I have some viewers who have kids, and I know one of my other kind of foodie clients, she will tell people to like food process carrots or food process any other veggie and throw it into like a meatloaf. And so that way, like, you're hiding veggies from your kids or your adult husband. Yeah.
Doesn't turn green or anything.
Right, it's live TV, so I think he might. I just outed myself. But those little fixes for turkey, and the thing I like about it, like, it's in Tupperware. When when we were training, competing, like, this was my bestie, me and Tupperware. We were like in love.
Yep, and going along, piggybacking off that point, I don't want to live out of Tupperware.
Yes.
That's not my goal. That's not any goal that I have for my clients, whether they're, my lawyer client going to work or my physique athlete. I want them to have healthy options. So this is, I keep this in my fridge, and then I throw together healthy meals. So I don't want to be walking around with a Tupperware of turkey meatballs. That's not the goal here.
Right. I guess
that was my past life.
I guess the goal I tell everyone is that we cook once a week, and I know I cook once a week because it just makes my life simpler. So that when I'm coming home at 6 o'clock at night, I know I can reach into the refrigerator and there's food. And if I'm making a fresh vegetable, or even times some people are like, oh, I don't like leftovers, I will take a meatball and I will physically make them, put them in the refrigerator, and all I need to do is put it in the oven.
Yep.
And so that way dinner is 15 to 20 minutes away versus me taking out all the ingredients and then starting from scratch, and dinner's an hour away and I haven't really eaten all day, so my head's in the fridge. And
you're going to be grazing the fridge. You're going to take a piece of cake from yesterday.
Right, exactly. Drinking a little vino. And so, that's one of the things, I hear all the time, like, I don't do leftovers. Well, pre-make the meatball, and then at least you have it ready to go, throw it in the oven, and not having to wait an hour for you to make dinner.
Yep. And so as Kim said, this is prepared, and so when you go home, you can throw together something that takes maybe 5 or 10 minutes.
Right.
So I'll get home, and I have this air fryer, which is my newest favorite thing we can get into later, but you can put in some butternut squash or a sweet potato in there and some veggies, and that can be your side that night. The next night you can make some whole grain pasta or quinoa. That can be your starch and another veggie, but you still have the turkey meatballs you made.
Right.
So
yeah, and so one of the things people are like, oh, I'm not creative, and I go, you know what, I wasn't creative either, but I knew that the path that I was going down was going to lead me to my pants not buttoning, and I wanted my pants to button.
We always want the pants to button.
And so, I cook once a week just because it makes my life easier, but that's not what you have to do. And, for me, I spend probably a good 15 minutes a weekend. I live on Pinterest. I live on Naomi's blog. I'm always looking for other ideas. There's plenty of magazines, there's plenty of cookbooks that make this so much simpler. Like, thank you for the internet. because
Seriously.
I spend 15 minutes and I'm like, oh, someone added something else to a meatball. I'm like, oh, I never even thought about that. So, or like something with a new chicken breast or something with fish that I never even thought of. So that it's really out there for you to do. And, it's not that expensive. I say like, yes, is it something you can buy on the dollar menu at McDonald's? All right, but let's just talk about the quality of the food that you're
putting in your body.
the quality of the food that you're getting, because I would rather make a turkey meatball than the dollar menu at McDonald's. Now, one of the other things is I hear, well, Kim, I got this sweet tooth.
The sweet tooth.
I just can't give it up. And so, I'm like, that's awesome. So awesome. But how do you give up that sweet tooth,
It's such a good question. It is such a good question. And I think, sweet tooth is different for everyone. For me, I don't have a huge sweet tooth. Look, I love sweets. But if I have a small piece of dark chocolate and a little bit of peanut butter, I'm good.
Heaven.
And for me, I'm good. Other people, they need cake or ice cream or something like that. So, one great idea that I've done is freezing Greek yogurt.
Yes.
So you put it in don't make it rock solid, but you put it in the freezer for a little while, maybe an hour, and then you can add a little stevia on it, which is, no calorie, all organic sweetener, even some unsweetened cocoa powder in there.
Oh, yeah.
Put in some blueberries if you want, little unsweetened coconut or shaved coconut on top. Toppings are endless, and kind of, and you can buy the plain Greek yogurt in the serving size. So you don't have to eat out of the big container, so it's portion controlled.
The other thing, if you have a Vitamix, I'm a Vitamix junkie, you could take that same if you don't want to wait for it in the freezer, throw it in the Vitamix, put a couple ice cubes in there or some frozen fruit, and it's party.
Yep.
It's party.
Party in your mouth. And
Exactly.
Again, you can top it with some nuts, something crunchy, and then we have these.
Yeah. So I'm going to say this. It's like some of y'all really, that looks like dog food. Tastes way better. Because this is the one thing, my good friend.
They're bars.
They're bars.
They're little bars like this, so you can,
One of my good friends, Carrie Manti, she does on Instagram, she calls it her bowl of crap. And I love it because she's like, all these other people, they make this beautiful food. And she's like, my food looks like a bowl of crap.
Yep.
And I'm like, it's perfect because my food never looks like that. When I see people take a picture of their food on Instagram, I'm like, yeah, this is amazing meal, but it don't look good.
No, it doesn't. I mean, I personally, I think these look good. These are some pumpkin oat bars with dried cranberries that, again, I made on Sunday. It took me about 10 minutes. I had all the ingredients, and then I cut them up in pieces. So there's about 10 or 12 pieces here, and they can serve as breakfast in the morning. So what I would do personally is have about 3. They're very small. So I'm active all day long. I'm on my feet all day. I would probably have 3 or 4 of those, maybe with a little peanut butter or coconut oil, and that would be breakfast. Another way you can do it is you can have one after dinner for your sweet tooth, because there's sweetness in. There's maple syrup and canned pumpkin, oats, egg, dried cranberries, all the good stuff. Baked, about 20 minutes, done.
Right, and I love that because you also have a protein ball that's no bake. And one of the things I like when I fly is these travel so well.
Yep.
So I don't have to buy crap, or I don't have to eat cold food, where I can have this. She on her website, she has these no bake protein balls.
I have so many protein bar bite recipes on Pinterest too. I pin them on my Facebook page. I have so many of stuff like this because, as you said, I never travel without food. Anyone who knows me, if you're watching this, I never don't have food on me in some form.
Right, and so I find these are like you just said, it's great for a little bit of sweetness. And the best thing I find is I'm more of a sweet person than a savory person. So some of my savory people are like, well, I need something savory. And the same thing with the Greek yogurt.
Yep.
I find that if you put, there's so many great hummus flavors out there.
Yep.
Pair that with a vegetable. Also take a Greek yogurt and put in
dill.
Dill in there with
Yep.
some cucumbers. You get that nice feeling in there. So it's a really good, healthy tzatziki sauce.
Yeah.
So I find with savory is so much easier to hit the savory spot than it is to hit the sweet spot.
And still keep it healthy.
Yeah.
You know.
There's a lot of fixes. And so like you mentioned, some simple swaps. So like I use Greek yogurt for pretty much anything that requires creamy.
Yes.
So, if you're looking for sour cream, I put in Greek yogurt. Now, here's the one thing I want to caution you. Some people are like, well, it don't taste the same. It's not going to taste the same.
It's not the same food.
I'm not going for a one-for-one comparison. What I'm going for is if you have this meal that you absolutely love, how do I make it so that it's a little healthier for you? Mm-hmm. Now, I don't live in deprivation, and neither does Naomi.
Nope.
But if you're someone who is a meat and potatoes kind of person, that's not going to serve you every single day. But if you say, I'm going to have turkey meatballs with spaghetti squash, wow, that's, I can have my cake and eat it too kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So it's these, clean eating doesn't have to be all about deprivation. It's making smart swaps.
Yeah. Personally, I think it's almost the opposite of deprivation because I choose to make it fun. Now, Kim talked about, you talked about the Greek yogurt,
right.
kind of subbing that for things. I am a mustard fiend.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
It is my favorite condiment, and again, with the variety, there are so many kinds of mustards.
Oh God, yeah.
You go into your Shaw's or your Star Market, there's horseradish and buffalo mustard, and even the honey mustard it doesn't have that much honey in it if you watch your portions. And I probably have 6 types of mustard in my fridge.
Agreed.
And it is, for me, that's probably the biggest swap I use. I use it with tuna fish, so instead of mayo, I put, Dijon mustard or any kind of mustard. I put it in these turkey meatballs. I'll use it make salad dressing with it with olive oil and balsamic vinegar. So it's a great, great way to get a ton of flavor. Almost no calories, minimal calories.
Yeah, I'm totally with you about the mustard. Yeah. Mustard, I call it the underrated condiment.
Yeah.
And because I can swap that with so many different things and still get flavor.
Yes.
And a lot of people, like you alluded to earlier, they'll be like, oh, if I'm eating clean, I have to boil my chicken and I have to like have plain this and plain that. I swear, if I come home with another spice, I think I might be getting a divorce.
It's so true. Because if you buy spice and you use it one time for the turkey meatballs, then you have that spice though, and then it's there, it's in your pantry, and you will use it again. Obviously, don't buy something that, don't buy a flavor you don't like. I don't like cilantro. I'm not going to buy cilantro. So I sub, parsley for that. Right.
And that's one of the, you hit the nail on the head. Like, I am a big swapper. And my husband yells at me all the time. He's an engineer. And he's like, well, why do you follow the recipe? I'm like, it's a guideline.
And it is just a guideline.
That's why I don't bake. Because baking, you can't, like, baking is a guideline.
This is my baking. This is as far as I get with the baking.
That's what I bake too. I'm like, if I can put oatmeal and egg whites and a fruit together, I'm a baker. Yep, Cake Boss, watch out. Coming for you.
And that's why, I'm a real person. I didn't try to make these prettier than they were. I'm going to eat these this week. This was Kim said, prepare some food that you're going to eat and bring it. So I said, okay, I would have made this anyways. So, that's it. Doesn't have to be beautiful, but it's delicious.
Not beautiful at all. So you were alluding to you have some new fun kitchen toys that you love.
Oh my God. The air fryer. You guys, Kim, this is life-changing. So I have an air fryer. It's this new, I just had heard about it. I didn't even really know about it. I got it as a gift. And this thing has changed my life. Time-wise, and I'm not prepping I don't have a family or anything, so I'm cooking for 1 or 2, maybe 3 people, but usually just 1 or 2 people. And it sits on your countertop, and it basically, when you take it out the basket, it looks like a deep fryer. So you put food in there. So I put, you can dice up a sweet potato and a zucchini, put it in there, little olive oil, salt, and pepper. You put it in. You set it to the temperature you want. I usually just put on the highest because then it takes the shortest amount of time. You set it for 10 minutes, and that's it. You walk away. And I don't know the technology, but it kind of
I believe bakes. In aliens.
Yeah, aliens come in, they bake and air fry it. So when you take it out, when it's done, it can also serve as a toaster, but it's crispy, and it leaves the food looking like it was almost fried. Like it's so crispy, and it saves so much time. And I've cooked salmon in there, chicken in there, so you can put protein. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. And the crock pot.
Like I
Do you love the crock pot?
So when I moved out, my mom bought me a crock pot, and I was like, really? Thanks, Mom.
Yep.
Okay. I tell you, I pulled that thing out. I'm in love. It's like my bestie. Like the crock pot stays on my counter year round. And my husband's like, so what else do you crock? I'm like, I crock everything.
You can crock. I've put in a piece of chicken, and this is, I was kind of barren in the kitchen, but again, I didn't go to a grocery store. I think I put in a chicken breast, a can of coconut milk, and cinnamon. Guys, it sounds weird, okay? But I put it in for about 4 hours, and it was like a coconut cinnamon chicken, and I served it over coconut brown rice, which is I just cooked brown rice with some coconut milk, and it was delicious.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, it was really different. But who would think coconut milk, cinnamon chicken? But I've tried it, and that's what you kind of have to do. You have to be a detective in the kitchen.
Experiment, and then share and swap. And I know that some of you guys might have some other questions, and wow, I can't believe that we're almost at the end of our show. It's been absolutely amazing having Naomi here, and thank you so much for all of your great tips. And like I said, you can't outrun a bad diet. You can pick up the recipes at fabfitsquad.com/live-tv. And I will be back on January 26th, where I'll be talking about how to